Hello everyone and welcome back to Casual Decks for Social Players. Here we have 5 rules. 1, the deck's got to be made from commander cards. 2, it's got to be made from pool cards. 3, for do buy cards, it's got to be less than £5. 4, it's got to be fun. And 5, I can break any of these rules. Today we have a deck. It's quite new that I've built, so I'm looking for any improvements that people can come up with or any ideas, but it is a very simple deck. It's for Yargle and Multani as the commander. It is 3 black green for an 18/6 Frog Spirit Elemental, and that's it. We are looking to win via the huge power of commander damage, and let's see what we've got. Up first, we're going to look at different categories. First, we're looking at our ramp category. We have a Llanowar Elf. We have a Drover of the Mighty. We have a Druid of the Cowl. All these tap to add mana. We have a Ilysian Caryatid. We have the Ilysian Caryatid, or however it's pronounced. Again, taps for mana. A Leaf King Druid. Ubervold Captive, which can transform and tap for even more mana. A Werebear. A Bronze Walrus, which allows us to scry. A Deathbloom Gardener. A Leyline Prowler. Llanowar Visionary, get a bit of card draw going. Rift Sower for a bit of suspend. Underseller Myconid for a bit of jumping. Druid of the Emerald Grove, a Solemn Simulacrum, a Vorinclex, because at least it gets us 2 forests for the later game, and also does some interesting things on the reverse, which is, let me show you, just because it is very powerful. It can mill 10 to put 2 creatures on the battlefield, and then distribute 7+1s among creatures you control, and then each creature you can have taps 1 and fights. Really, really good effect, and really good in this deck. And we also have a Cradle Clear Cutter, which can tap a green equal to its power. We have a certainly totally real Soul Ring, a Wild Growth, a also totally legit Arcane Signet. These are great proxies in terms of they are technically real magic cards, but when building a new deck, sometimes needed. A Fertile Ground, a Mind Stone, Moss Diamond, Nature's Law, Cultivate, Sky Shroud Claim, and a Titania's Command. This is a very late game ramp card, but it does also give you 2 bears and gives you +2 on everything in case you don't need the cards at the end game later on. Our next category is, whilst we've got a big Yargle, we need to get the damage through somehow. So this is our Trample package. We have a Duskshell Crawler, which gives +1 and everything with +1 trample. A Titan of Rex, which is a big creature but can cycle early to give your Yargle a trample counter. Cliffhaven Kitesail. This one doesn't give trample but gives flying, because nothing's more scary than a Yargle flying at your face. A Morgul Knife, which is actually a Shadow Spear to give it trample and lifelink. Lifelink again, nasty on Yargle. Hero's Heirloom to give it legendary creatures trample and haste. Raven Wings again to give it flying and make it a bird. A Cetacean Training gives you card draw and trample. Talons of Wildwood, which allows you to get it back from the graveyard if Yargle does die with it out. Fully Grown, which does give a nice combat trick and the trample counter so it sticks around. And a Garruk's Uprising, which allows us to draw a card every time we're going to play Yargle and gives it trample permanently. And Yargle is big, so we need to protect him to make sure he doesn't die immediately, because recasting him is going to be a pain. We have Armor of Shadows to give it indestructible. We have Ashnod's Intervention for when it dies or goes into exile, comes back into its owner's hand. Kaya's Ghost Form, again when it dies or exiles, returns back to the graveyard, but it's an aura. Molten Snakeskin, to regenerate it. Ranger's Guile for hexproof. Snakeskin Veil for, again, hexproof. Tyva's Stand to give it +X hexproof and indestructible, so many multi-use card. Battle Rage Blessing to give it Death Touch and indestructible. Not really needing the Death Touch, but indestructible is useful. Gaia's Gift to give it +1/+1 counter. Reach, Trample, hexproof, indestructible. Gives it everything it can possibly need. Return to Action to give it +1 lifelink, and when it dies, return to the battlefield tapped. Really, really useful cards in order to keep him around. We also need a bit of removal, so we have a Primal Might. Also helps to get that extra bit of damage to kill someone with command damage. So Primal Might to give it +X when to fight something. Cast Down for a instant speed non-legendary removal. Cosmic Hunger to deal damage equal to its power to something. Eliminate to destroy something that's cheap cost. Epic Downfall to destroy something that's bigger cost. Heartless Act to just destroy anything with no counters. Rapid Bite to bite your opponents away. Walk the Plank to destroy everything that's not a merfolk. Bouncer's Beatdown will do X damage equal to a Raider's power on creatures you control, which hopefully is a Yargle. It is 18 power. Tandem Takedown to give +1/+0 to 2 creatures, and they deal damage equal to the target creature or planeswalker or battle. And a Death Sprout in order to destroy a target creature and also to give us an extra land. We have a small bit of utility in the Scion of Halaster in order to look at the top 2 cards, choose one of them and put the other one to the graveyard. A Season of Growth in order to draw cards whenever a target Yargle. Wren's Run Hydra to either make a XX creature or to reinforce Yargle to give that extra bit of damage it needs. And a Thundering Nightmare in order to soul bond Yargle with a Horse Spirit, and whenever your opponents cast spells, it just gets bigger and bigger. And finally, the lands. So first up, we have some dual phase cards. We've got a Vastwood Fortification, which comes in, but there's also a land on the back. Kalani Ambush, which allows you to fight, but also has a land on the back. And a Hydra Maulin, which is destroy something, but also has a land. We also run a gate package in this because I figured why not, with a Basilisk Gate in order to give something +X where X is the number of gates I control. Only 2 gates in order to give that extra damage in order to be lethal commander damage. So we've got the Basilisk Gate, the Black Dragon Gate, the Golgari Guild Gate, the Gond Gate, the Heap Gate, the Mana Gate, and that's all the gates. We have the Dross Pits in order to draw a card later on, a Dark Boar Pathway, Dark Moss Bridge, a Haunted Mire for some swamp forests, Jungle Hollow, Witherbloom Campus, Woodland Chasm, again for another forest, Evolving Wilds, a Shire Terrace, so something from the new set, Terramorphic Expanse, Great Hall of the Citadel, again from the Lord of the Rings set, Tyric Sanctum, because we can make it a god, and Yargle should be a god, and then we can also put an indestructible on God Yargle. We also run in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swamps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 forests. So that is the deck as it stands for Yargle and Multani. I may mention Yargle more than anything about Multani, but it is a big stompy deck to ramp out and try and get commander damage through in one hit. What do you reckon? What would you add? What would you replace? It's still in its early stages, so any help would be appreciative. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.